Okay, welcome back to another episode of Create VR. So right now, for this particular tutorial, we're gonna cover some elements that you can actually discover in the game. Let me just get in there. You can see there's some planets right here. Alright, I'm just gonna go inside this world. And some of the stuff that I have still exists. Alright, great! So you might be wondering, okay, you've been playing this game for a while and you're kind of frustrated with all the basic elements. You're thinking, how am I going to discover new ones? Or, you know, I can't access the cheats or the hints yet. Like, how do I get this dust particle? Or how do I get this fish? Well, let me just swipe right to go to an empty area. Okay. So I'm gonna give you some cheats or hints on how to get some particular elements, particularly like a rock, mudslide, and also a clouds. So I'm just gonna bring this up, and let's basically start with clouds. Now, the logic might not make direct sense, but let's think about it for a second. What exactly are clouds made of? So I'm just going to put air right here, the air elements. Now, you might want to listen carefully. This is basically a free hint for you guys. Since we don't have the hint option yet, I'm going to create another one. And let's just merge these two together. So for those who are watching this for the first time, in order to merge something together, oh, this is like becoming more like fog now. So in order to merge something together, you just hover over the element and then press and hold on your pad. So I'm just going to do that. And there you go, I just created clouds. Now, it might sound crazy or ridiculous. I mean, you might be thinking, wait, air plus air equals clouds, but it's kind of, you get the idea. So, yeah, so it's kind of quirky in that sense. Okay, so if you want to move this around, you can. You just pick it up, and then you can see that the skies changes back to normal starry skies. I can roam around with this, and I can just place it down again to bring back the clouds. Now, if you were wondering how to get rid of some elements, unfortunately, it seems like our developers forgot to implement the reset button and the delete button. So, what you can do is bring up the wall of elements. You just select an item, bring it up, and then choose something else. I know it's kind of weird, you know, so you just basically swap the element for another. Now, if you really want to get rid of it, I recommend this. This is kind of a hack, since we sort of forgot to implement the delete and reset keys. So basically, after selecting the transform, I would move this down, away. You can see that my fire is sort of going down, so that's how you can remove them. Now, you probably could hear the sound, but you can always turn it off too. So I can actually either bring this up into space or totally just delete them by moving them into the ground. And there you go. Even though it's not totally complete, but you get a picture. And it looks like my ground is dancing. Alright, great. So, anyway, next thing I'm going to basically create. I'm just going to bring back my clouds here. Put this down and you can see the clouds back. Alright. So next thing we're going to create, basically, it's the rock. Now, before we can get to a rock, let's think about it logically. We need something else before that. So, if you don't already have it in your wall of elements, what you want to do is create a coal element. So, I'm basically going to select this fire and essentially merge it with my earth. Now, I have coal. So, how does it come about? Like, how do we determine these combinations? Firstly, it's a mixture of real logic and also kind of like bizarre, weird, out of this world logic. So we have coal, right? If we add coal to fire, creates a campfire. Makes sense logically, yes, because when you add fire to coal, you create a campfire in a way. So I'm just gonna put this down here. Of course, we have the earth with the fire, getting the coal. I'm just gonna do that again just to get rid of some of my elements in the scene. So I have coal. Great. So now with coal. Now, how are we gonna get a rock? Now, a coal is in a way sort of like a rock, but just more useful than a rock, I suppose. So what I would do If I could pick this up, I don't think I could right now. So I'm going to bring up an element called water. Let's see if you can merge this with coal. Well, it looks like something happened to my coal right there. That's a good point to note. I'm just going to put this water down here. Actually, I have one already. So I'm actually going to bring up coal. And the tool, I suppose. Yes, coal. I'm going to merge it with water. Basically, I'm using water to wash out the coal. And that, in a way, somewhat gives you rock. Whatever I said does not make any scientific sense. Alright, so there you go. You have a new element to play with, rock. And, as we've touched upon initially, you can scale this. You can rotate it. You can do all sorts of things. So you can make a gigantic big rock if you want. You can even rotate and stuff like that. So, alright, now I have my rock. Okay, so that's almost as massive as a boulder. Alrighty, so now, how are we going to get this brick? If you haven't already discovered, this is also another combination that you can do in order to get this brick right here. So now that we have the campfire, let me just go here. I'm going to pick up this element here called mud. I wonder what if I merge these two together. Nothing? Okay. So I'm going to put mud with campfire. Now you might be thinking, alright, so mud, campfire, how does that make a brick? Well, in the real world, the brick is basically formed through somewhat similar combinations, but since we are going all crazy here, and bizarre, and kind of illogical, I'm going to merge these two together. And we get a brick. Now I'm very curious. I'm actually gonna do my research and see like if actually the brick really what really makes a brick. But anyway, I'm not a construction worker. Okay, so there you go. 3 cheats and hints to make this a little bit more logical. I'm gonna put the elements together so that you can see what makes what. I'm gonna go to air. So if I add air, I'm gonna pick up another one actually, right here. Air and air. Kind of makes clouds. And then water and coal makes a rock. And of course you have your brick, which is the weirdest, perhaps the most weirdest combination ever that we've ever created. It's campfire. Where is my campfire? Do I have one right here? Campfire? I don't want to kind of have too many things open, but in the scene. Okay, so campfire. Yes. With mud. I'm just gonna pick this one off. There you go. So, 3 cheats. Air plus air, clouds. Water plus coal, rock. Mud plus campfire, brick. Alright, so that's really about it for today and for this episode. Catch up next time for perhaps more cheats or hints or ways to make this game more useful to you. So, if not, I hope you guys have fun creating what's on your mind.